Have a nice day, everyone. I am Revimi A. Bonostro, first year student of BS English Section A. The topic that assigned to me is in the Unit 3A, and that is the quotes that states the end does not justify the means. If you have an idea on what it means, well, it's very good. If none, it's okay because we will know it all later. But before that, I'll give you an exercise example. An employee may not fake his document in order to promote a job. So it is clear that an employee didn't do any fake document in order to promote a job that he or she applied. Maybe he has this good intention and a good motive. So let's see another example. Here, a student may not cheat in an exam in order to graduate. So this situation is the same in the first example. A student also didn't do any cheating in an exam in order to graduate. Maybe he does scan her notes every day. He study hard in order to pass the exam. So what the quotes really mean? So the end or the motive does not justify the means or action. Means that the worthiness of purpose does not make an evil act good. So an evil or the end or the motive does not justify the means or the action. So when we say motive, we have this good motive and a bad motive. So it reflects to the action that we have done. So if we have a good motive, expected that we have this good action. If we have this wrong motive, we have this bad action. But sometimes it is opposite. If we have a good motive, sometimes it doesn't reflect to our action. And also, if we have this bad motive, it doesn't reflect onto our action. So it is depends on the act that we have done. So the following are the effects of the motive and the action. So these are the effects. An evil act which is done on account of an evil motive is grievously wrong. So here is the example. A youngster who steals from his parents in order to buy shabu for himself is committing grievous wrong to himself and his parents. So this example shows that a youngster do an evil act because he steals money from his parents. And also he shows an evil motive because the money that he steals from his parents is he done buy it on a shabu. So it commits grievously wrong, not only to himself but also to his parents. So the second effect, a good action done on account of an evil motive become evil itself. So the example here is, the executive who gives a job to a lady applicant in order to seduce her later makes his kindness immoral because of his evil intention. So sometimes we have this evil motive. So it results to evil itself, because an example here, the executive who gives a job to a lady applicant. So he gives a free job to a lady applicant because it is beautiful, it is knowledgeable. So he shows, or the executive shows, a good action, but he has this evil motive, the eye. He want that lady applicant in order to seduce her later. So that kindness that he has is immoral because he has this evil intention. So the third is, a good action done on account of a good purpose acquires an additional merit. So the example is, the father who forgoes his expensive hobby in order to send his children to school shows a deeper concern for the welfare of his loved ones. So the father here shows a good action because he has a good purpose. He forget or forgoes his work in order to send her children. Maybe he want his children to go to school earlier, so he set aside first his work. So this shows that deeper concern for the welfare of his loved ones, and he concerned about the future of his children. So by this, in the future, it acquires an additional merit. So expected that his children gets an reward, or maybe they will get in the top, or they in the with honors. So it acquires an additional merit. Next is the fourth. An indifferent act may either become good or bad depending on the motive. So it as what I've said earlier, that good or bad motive or action depend on the motive we have. In this example, it shows three act, which are the indifferent act, wrongful act, and the good act. First is the indifferent act. Opening the door of a house is an indifferent act. So this example can reflect in if we have a visitor. So if we didn't know that visitor, we will welcome them indifferently, unlike to the person that we will know na jud. So if we have visitor, we will give them food, and we will show kindness to them because we didn't know them, and we will welcome them in our house freely. So that shows an indifferent act. While the wrongful act, so this is very common, especially nowadays. Many have done wrongful act. So in this situation, or in this example, the servant who in connivance with the thieves opens the doors of the house of his master, does a wrongful act. So in this example, that it has a servant and a mastermind. So that servant interferes the house that they ilahang sudlan or ilahang kawatan. So the expected that the mastermind is walahi jud na sila magsulod or so una jud ang right hand or ang ilang alagad to know that the house is freely to ready siya sudlan. So another example is that lahi siya na situation. If the mastermind tell to his or her servant that they kill that person, so it is also a wrongful act, because if the servant does it or magtuman siya sa katong master na sa gisugo sa iya, so he does a wrongful act. So daghan pa klase nga wrongful act from the word wrong. So expected that mali jud siya na binuhatan. On the other hand, opening the door in order to give alms to a beggar is a good act. In this kind of act, it shows from the word good. So daghan pa klase nga good act pod. Not only nga kanang you open the door to give alms to a beggar, or to give them money, or to give them food, but also it applies in our everyday work, no? If we will help our parents to household chores, if we will give food to the street vendors or street people, so it shows a good act. So many more good act we've known. So always remember that we have three kinds of act: the indifferent act, wrongful act, and the good act. So that's all. I hope you've learned a lot. Thank you, and God bless everyone.